Okay, so this is Sarah coming to you on Paranormal Radio. This is my first time recording, so you're going to have to cut me some slack. But today we're going to talk about an article that I found online. It was written by University Affairs by a lady named Diane Peters. And this is some recent news. It was published on February the 7th, 2018. And the title of this article is called Making Sense of the Paranormal. And the reason that I chose this article to cover is because it's recent news in Canada on what's been going on with paranormal research. So apparently there's an alien story in Canada that has been compared to Roswell. It happened in 1967 in Nova Scotia, where an object crashed into the water. And now there's an attraction economy that's been established there. I didn't know that. I'm from Canada. I've lived in central eastern Canada, western Canada, and central Canada, and I did not know that we had anything comparable to Roswell. So there's the Shag Harbor Incident Interpretive Center that has a festival every year, and if you're interested in a UFO attraction out east in the Maritimes, there you go. So this is kind of interesting because I guess there's researchers who are doing their PhD theses on alien interactions. And I actually saw mention of this today when I was watching APTN on a show called Indians and Aliens, where they said more and more students are choosing to do research on aliens and UFOs. I think on that show they said 10% of Canadians believe in aliens, and they said that that's a pretty big chunk of the population. That's like 3.5 million people in our country that believe aliens exist. So this article in University Affairs interviewed somebody named Noah Morit, who is doing his thesis at Memorial University on the way people who claim to have seen aliens interact with them. And we're hopefully going to get a hold of Noah Morit to do an interview with us so he can tell us more about his research. So this article says this is more than just a quirky moment in Canadian history, but a rich vein of human experience that Noah Morit, a PhD candidate in folklore at Memorial University, is mining for his thesis. He's looking at Cold War politics, the evolution of the UFO legacy, and the impact on locals, particularly devout Baptists. It reveals the importance of tradition and community and how we make sense of the world around us. And you know, I really agree with that statement because I actually studied geography myself, and I have this natural curiosity about the world around us. And for me, that includes the land formations of the Earth, but also the sun and the stars and the galaxy. And I think geography should include the solar system too. So maybe Dr. Paul Kingsbury from Simon Fraser University is right. I just I highlighted something from this article that he said. It said, sounds flaky, right? For serious academics, this might even be viewed as outside the bounds of legitimate inquiry. That would be a shame, says Paul Kingsbury, a professor in the Department of Geography at Simon Fraser University. Writing for the Conversation Canada, he notes, enduring skepticism in the social sciences about the legitimacy of the claims about paranormal phenomena and experiences has resulted in a lack of critical studies on how people are actually engaging with the paranormal. So, you know, I guess there are no real serious studies right now about how people interact with the paranormal. And so Noah Morit, the PhD student from Memorial University, has a lot to say about that. He states that if we don't pay attention to paranormal experiences, we are not including all of human experience. Let me just see here. So, so the author of this article writes that in Canada, another fun fact for you, a doctor in Winnipeg in the 1920s who was called well-respected, and he was a member of the provincial legislature in Manitoba, actually studied Ouija boards in a lab that he had at home, and he gave public talks about this all the time. So, I mean, today that would be pretty weird if one of our officials was at home studying Ouija boards. And I guess that's the point, that in Canada's earlier years, studying the paranormal was, well, normal. This article also points to a study done at the University of Colorado in 1966 that worked to monitor UFOs. Apparently, out of 12,618 sightings, 701 were categorized as unidentified. And this study was funded by the U.S. Air Force. So studying these types of things at post-secondary institutions was common. And I guess we're learning from Noah, the PhD student, that we really should still be studying paranormal things in the educational setting. So I'll publish on the website so you guys can stay tuned when I get a hold of Noah and he can tell us a little bit more about his research. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.